So why did I drive to this closed ski resort hundreds of miles away from where I live? For one simple reason, to secure my victory. What am I talking about? Well, if you don't already know, there's a thing in the USA GeoGuessr server called the Travel Pictures game. Every 4 days, a random location is generated somewhere within the US. The goal is for players to try and submit a picture that they took as close to the location as possible. But there's nothing in the rules that say you can't just go to the location itself. This is known as 5K'ing. Now, I've done this twice before, but I've never gotten to do it in my home state of Montana because Montana almost never shows up. For as large as Montana is, it's only shown up 4, now 5 times in the year and a half this has been going on. Based on area, it's the second most underrepresented state in the game. The previous times I was either busy, sick, on vacation, or was just too far away. But seeing that notification on a Sunday where I had nothing going on, getting your home state in TPG feels like a drug, man. However, my streak of not being able to 5K in Montana would still continue, as in order to get as close as possible to this location, I would need to hike 32 miles, which is a little bit tough to pull off in 4 days in March. So I just have to settle for a regular first place. Now, my closest pre-existing picture is probably somewhere along US 2, south of Glacier here, but rather than combing through my Glacier videos, even though I wouldn't be able to 5K, it'd still be a neat adventure, so off we went. The closest point reachable by road will be Teton Pass Ski Resort near Choteau, Montana. And you know, it's like they say, it's about the journey, not the destination. So I hope you enjoy watching this one. Let's go. There's so many fun things to see, like this car with a bunch of antennas on it. Also, one of my favorite rocks in Montana, the Nessie Rock. Barn that says meth. But of course, not all the journey can be exciting. This is what a good chunk of it looked like between the interstate and Choteau, so the only thing out here for miles was the intersection. I don't know if y'all are prepared for the intersection. Never mind. Just gonna fast forward a little till we get something interesting. Oh, boom, here we go. There's some new towns I haven't been to before, starting off with Sims. So there's a reason I haven't been here before. Yeah. A lot of the small towns we drove through were even more desolate than usual because it was Easter and things just shut down even more. So, yeah. It was fun driving through almost ghost towns, pretty much. Then next up was Fort Shaw. They've got an old Pepsi sign. And lastly, Sun River, which also has an old Pepsi sign, but they also have an old Coke sign. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty uninteresting leg of the trip, but now I've been to half of the 498 places on the census in Montana. Just another 249 to go. Then we pass through Fairfield. I think there's only one business open in the whole place. And finally, we get to one of our planned stops, Freeze Out Lake, to see some snow geese. It's like they say, there's snow geese like snow geese, except for all the other types of geese. Now, I'd heard that there were going to be snow geese here, and I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, I don't usually see them all the time. I was not aware of how many there were. All of those are the snow geese. All of these birds flying around, snow geese. So we got to see that a couple of times. Now, we're sitting pretty far out on the lake, and also, this was probably the most lively place we saw, was the parking lot for this lake for all the bird watchers that came out to see them. We also saw some pelicans. Look at them gulp down those fish. And also these little guys. No one was paying attention to them. I don't know what they're called, but shout out to these little guys. I think they deserve some love. Cool island. This is just kind of a cool stop. Check out some birds. Then it was back to trying to almost 5K, but not really. Heading on up to Choteau. In Choteau, we saw the second weird car of the trip. This, like, knockoff Google car? I think that's a camera on top of it. I'm not sure what it is, though. Also passed by some dinosaurs. Those are at the Old Trail Museum, which is part of Montana's Dinosaur Trail. Something I did a long time ago. But maybe I do again. Like and comment if you ever want to see a Goshen Man Dino Trail video. I think that'd be neat. After passing through Choteau, noticed a lot of construction. They might be making this a 2-lane road, which, like, does it really get that much traffic here? Maybe. I don't know. And soon we reached the road that would take us to our desired location. Now some of you might recognize this road because it used to be one of the only places in the US that only had Generation 2 Street View coverage. It's since gotten Gen 4, but I'm guessing that in my target audience, if you've heard of Shoto, this is probably why. Now fun fact, the county this lies in is called Teton County, and you might be like, well, I thought the Tetons were in Wyoming. They are. I was trying to figure out why this is called Teton County, but I couldn't. The other Teton Mountains got their name either because of the Teton Sioux, or apparently because they looked like a pair of breasts. Whose breasts look like this? The French, I guess. So maybe there's a similar story for these mountains. We reached the belly of the beast, so to speak. The final stretch of the drive. Getting into the hills here. Earlier I was joking when I said I just did this to secure my victory. Now I did it for, you know, the love of the adventure. To check out a new road I've never been to. I wouldn't just spend an entire day driving out here just for some fake internet points. I mean, I kind of did, but also, this might be one of the coolest roads I've driven on for a video, and that's some stiff competition. You know, I do it to check out roads I probably wouldn't otherwise. This one I actually might have because there is a ski resort at the end of it. It was still cool nonetheless to see. And we saw some deer springing along the trail. Also, Lewis and Clark National Forest is way larger than I thought because I thought it was just over here about 100 miles away, but no, it's also over here, which is neat, I guess. Now we did see a sign that said the ski resort was going to be closed, which did make me a little bit nervous because I figured since there's a ski resort, the road would be plowed, and if it's closed, then it might not be. So hopefully we'd be able to make it up the road. Now in the last 5K drive video, I talked about how surprised I was to see people in like far rural areas because I didn't see anyone for like an hour here. Alright, even though there is a ski resort and there are trails and all sorts of hiking stuff back here, didn't see anyone for an hour. So yeah, I am kind of surprised when I see like 3 cars in the middle of nowhere. Continue down this really long road. As we continue to climb through the mountains, we notice it's like, man, this is kind of a rough road. I mean, there's a small boulder the size of a large boulder in the road, and this is taking a long time. I can't imagine people frequently going on this to ski, which that just seems absurd to me. Like, this is probably the roughest road I've ever taken to a ski resort. There could be rougher out there, though. There definitely is. It just keeps going, and I don't know how to stress how long this took. And the road was kind of shaky and bumpy. Not terrible, but to get to a ski area, it's like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But finally, we reached Teton Pass Ski Resort. And I gotta say, this is some really cool scenery for a ski resort. I mean, ski resorts usually have pretty cool scenery, but like this, for how small it is, pretty cool. And I can now also add it to the list of ski resorts I've been to, but haven't skied at, which is surprisingly long. And I'll take a picture to show that I was here, submit with the coordinates, and call it a day. As I said earlier, this was my favorite scenery I've done for a 5K drive. I know it's not a 5K, but I'm gonna still call it a 5K drive. But yeah, I mean, it's just beautiful back here. Not a lot more I can say than that. And driving home, we stopped at a gas station that had a bathroom with no barrier between the urinal and the sink. And no lock on the door. I don't know if this is common or not. I sure hope it isn't. Also, the place we stopped at for dinner, the waitress really kept pushing ranch. It was very bizarre. Thanks for watching. Hope you like and subscribe. That'd be cool. As I mentioned earlier, I've done this a couple times before, and as I mentioned a couple times earlier, I've made 2 videos on this before, so go check those out if you want a similar vibe. I think they're pretty fun. And there's also more Goshen Man videos for the rest of my travel vlogs and whatnot, and other GeoGuessr and geography videos, and check those out, and the other Ocean Man social medias in the description on all that, and that'd be all real cool. And I'm doing a little hum in my voice, and I don't know how to end this video. Okay, bye.